What's up, everybody? We are back at Around the Mat Pod. I am your host at the PJ North. Man, another week in wrestling. It is a fast-paced week this week. We got 3 straight pay-per-views, so we're doing a lot of pick-em. We're talking all things last week, all in, and we've got a great group of people to go over those things. But before we do that, it is episode 29, and if you're watching live on Twitch, thank you so much. Hit that like, subscribe, all those things that happen on Twitch. I'm not a user that often, but if you do watch every Thursday, thank you. If you're watching live on YouTube the next day, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on the pod, on the questions that we're talking about. I would love to hear it. So we want to know your feedback. Follow along on the shorts and all those things. If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, don't forget to leave that 1-star or 5-star review. Share with your friends. Tell everybody you know that you love wrestling and you love Around the Mat Pod, man. I'd love to see it. Don't forget to follow us on all social medias. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all those things. It is at Around the Mat Pod. And that's where we post all the good stuff, man. You could follow along with all the people that are guests. They're all wrestling fans or wrestling personalities involved in the biz. So don't forget to do that. With that being said, I'm done with my spiel. Let's bring in the guests. We got a whole group of folks here tonight. In the bottom left, he is back one time to count the 1, 2, 3. Brad Myers, refs, my favorite Canadian. What up, baby?
How's that feel, Sabre? I'm his favorite Canadian. I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me back. I don't know how Shane Sabre just shut off some fireworks.
He's on his phone, so he's doing full reaction and everything. I love it.
Was it this? Was it this?
It was the hands up thing, yeah.
Does that work for me?
One time. No, get out of here.
In the bottom right, he is the Ticket God. He is the main stooge, Freddie Briscoe. Freddie Fresh. What's up, baby?
What's happening? Glad to be back on the pod after missing out on the amazing AEW talk I'm sure we had last week. So,
my guy just wants to be a heel so bad, but he's like the nicest heel ever. He's like, hey, I hate you, but also let me say it in a really nice way. Great stuff. And in the top right, he's here for the first time. He is the Canadian superstar, Shane Sabre. Shane Sabre. What's up, baby?
Oh, hi, everybody. Not much. Just hanging out. Came to talk. Came to go around the mat.
I love to see. There you go. Now you're getting into it. All good stuff, man. We had a lot of wrestling stuff going on. Big week, right? Obviously, this week's Bash in Berlin. We had all in last week, all out next week. A lot of things happening on Dynamite, Raw, SmackDown, TNA. All things are happening. But before we do that, Fred deliberately ignored my text today in the group chat, so I'm going to bring it up here. Fred, what do you hate more? A person who leaves WWE and immediately debuts in AEW, or a person who leaves WWE and just immediately shits on like half of the stuff they did?
A person who leaves WWE and goes to AEW.
Oh, God.
Really? Are you being, is that heel talk or that's real?
No, that's real because one, they chose to leave WWE.
Hold on. Are you telling me you hate Edge more than you hate Ronda Rousey?
Yeah.
You
know what?
I'm sorry. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
It's a great show.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go hang out with my cat.
There's certain guys I could give a shit about. Like Ricochet, I don't give a shit about that he dated. I mean,
I get what you're saying. Okay.
You know, good job. You jump around and flip.
Oh, my God.
But Edge broke my heart.
You deserve that, honestly.
Daniel Bryan broke my heart. Adam Cole,
man, he was gonna get put in a bad situation. He almost had to leave, right?
Heart. Yeah. Sasha's a bitch. Otherwise, she broke my heart.
Sorry, Mercedes.
But she did so many other things.
If you're listening to the pod, Mercedes, I apologize. We'll give you.
Yeah, she's not.
But seriously,
she did everything else.
No, listen, I'm not condoning when. Obviously, I hate when the guys go out there and shit on WWE. But to me, I just lose respect for you when you do that.
Yeah, but I mean, you're trying to tell me
And
that
you're an idiot.
someone's trying to keep their. A lot of those guys didn't leave on their own free will. They were either released, their contract was up.
Oh no! If a guy got released, and went to AEW, that's different.
Okay, so
Daniel
Bryan and Edge.
Is there many of them though?
No, that's what I'm saying. A lot of them either their contract was up or whatever it may be. I'm not.
No, contract up, that counts as me.
That's okay. That is why
I'm with Freddie on this one. I guarantee you 90% of the guys whose contracts just expired, there would be an offer on the table for them to come back. And like, That's them saying, no, I'd rather go somewhere else.
See, that part doesn't. See, that part is
Big
like
on
you go
loyalty.
to. The thing is about being loyal is whatever, right? It's like my thing is being loyal is when you get let go after you don't get an offer somewhere else, or you're not really a star, and you. The reason I brought this up is I saw something that Mason Mansour were, for lack of a better term, basically like WWE. If you get to a certain point. And they don't believe in you, they'll basically shove you down the card on PLE so that you can't get that merch at those PLEs. And I was like, I wanted to just be like, I know you guys think super highly of yourself. I get it. I think really highly of myself too. But I don't think anyone gives a shit about MXM merch or whatever their fucking tag team name was. I was like, I don't know. So I had to ask. So, Freddie, you have blown my mind. I honestly thought you were going to say the people that shit on it. I really did.
I don't respect those people. But
not respect. It's whether or not you hate them. That's what I was
If they got released, everybody, you're going to have sour grapes.
Sure.
I think you're a dumbass for going out there. I would put the company over if I got let go because you never know what can happen.
Fred, you've been putting the company over for 30 fucking years, bro. I'm not worried about what you would do. I know that you've been putting over and they've never loved you, man. I heard I was having this conversation with my girlfriend recently. I heard on a racing podcast that Dale Earnhardt was on, and the guy was like, he's like, "Hey man, how did you decide to stop racing?" And the guy's like, it's like the girl that you love and they never love you back. And that's, how I felt about that's the WWE does not love Fred.
No,
Fred loves that bitch till she dies, my guy. And I'm here for it. I love it, man. That is undying, undying honesty, and I love it. So, all right, well, thank you, Fred, because I needed to know the answer because I know we skipped over that in the group chat.
I need to know an answer. Is that a Bret Hart hat?
Who's?
Oh no, it's a Stone Cold hat.
It does look like a Hart hat, though.
It definitely looks like a Bret Hart.
I do have a Bret Hart hat, and I am a fan of the Hitman.
Wait, does Shane Sabre hate Bret Hitman Hart too?
No, I was just wondering if you condone all the hate he's got to Goldberg for 30 years.
Well, it's comical at this point. It was Goldberg the shits, yes, but it is comical.
It is really, really comical. I do agree with that. It's like really funny.
How mad he is at Goldberg. I get it. I guess he ended his career and then he got a stroke.
He said, "Put up the hands," and Bret's like, "Yeah, he told me to put up the hands." Well, that was never said before. This is all news, and still fuck Goldberg.
Honestly, I love it. I know that Brad hates the Hitman, so that checks out. Good stuff, man. I love that.
But I am a Shawn Michaels guy over Bret Hart. I like Bret, but I'm a Shawn Michaels guy.
That's the correct answer.
I'm with
that
you
is
there,
the correct answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
That comes down to really like if you really break it down to it, Fred, a lot of the conversations we have in the group chat, right, about wrestling versus showmanship versus all these things. Now, obviously, Shawn is the quintessential great wrestler, overarching. He had the whole deal, right? Mm-hmm. But when you break it down, right, when you're talking about like AEW versus WWE, you're talking about entertainer. Now, Shawn Michaels is a great wrestler on his own. I'm just saying, like, when you really break it down to it, that's the conversation you have with people, and you can determine whether or not they like AEW versus WWE. You ask them, do you like Shawn or do you like Bret more? And that boils that not that you don't like AEW, but which do you like more? You can narrow it down easily for asking someone, do you like Shawn more or do you like Bret more? It's that simple. Now, Brad outstanding because he hates Bret regardless, if that doesn't count. But we'll get to that. All right, man. It's time to go around the mat. And in wrestling, obviously the headlines are a buzz. First, Raw was just this week, and I was just talking about Fred's undying love earlier this week. He was like, I don't know that I loved Raw, and I was like, hell yeah, I love it. And then he immediately was like, no, I'm just kidding, I loved it. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, he had me in the first half. But no, man, Raw was kind of like whatever, and I get it to a certain extent. I will tell you. Look, man, I'm just not a howdy guy. I don't. He is a Bray Wyatt knockoff. He is fake Diesel. In the ring, it is whatever. I just don't. I don't need someone. I don't need an ode to. I just don't. And it's not for me, and that's okay. I know that there's thousands of people who do like it. I really did say though, in the chat when I was watching it, the fans were not into it for like 90% of the match until the end when everyone came out and got involved. At that point, so for me, Raw was just kind of And Shane, you're new to the pod, man. What are your thoughts on Raw, overarching and just where it is? Obviously, we're going into Berlin, so what's your thoughts on Raw?
Well, after I got your invite, I texted Brad and I said, I didn't know there was going to be homework today. I watched the first match of Raw, and then I ended up watching the movie Long Legs, which is great, by the way, if anybody wants a movie recommendation.
That sounds like arachnophobia or something. Long Legs. It's got to be some.
That's what you thought it was, but no, it's with Nicolas Cage. He's a Satanist.
Oh my god!
It's very creepy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you didn't watch the rest of Raw. What was your thoughts on the first match then? How about that? Let's lead with that.
Great.
You thought it was
LWO versus the Judgment Day?
Dog shit.
Oh, come on.
Buried. The LWO should be buried in '98, just like the rest of that shit, man. Terrible.
They're all talented guys, and I love seeing them wrestle.
Yeah,
but
I do too.
No,
that's the problem. It's like I love that.
A gimmick on them for the sake. Like, they could be doing so much more.
Yeah.
Especially like Dragon Lee. Like, they started to push him to the moon.
And then immediately sat him back down.
Yeah, he's just in a faction with everybody else.
Yeah. Fred, what about you, man? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, no, was it the best Raw of all time? No, by no stretch of the imagination. I thought
it was whatever. It's just weird for a go home. I thought it was weird for a go home show.
Yeah, for a go home show, I didn't feel like it was strong. I did enjoy the stuff with Liv and Dom.
Oh, great, yeah.
And Rhea and Damien. I think that's the best stuff they've been doing, and I the Punk McIntyre stuff I thought was good too, with him coming out. Punk coming out.
The whole doing the live while he was under the ring. Shane, did you see any of that? Are you a big Instagrammer, Shane? Oh, okay.
I am, but I didn't see that. He was
he was on live while he was under the ring.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but of course it's kind of funny because not that many people are on the live at the same time, right? Because they're watching Raw actively. So everybody saw it like pretty much after he went off live, but it was kind of it's amusing. Sorry, Fred, I didn't mean to jump on you there.
Yeah, no. So those couple things were good, but yeah, I mean, it's a weird spot. We're coming off the heels of SummerSlam. It's like when we're coming off the heels of WrestleMania. It's always, the card's going to be good at the Bash in Berlin, but it is what it is. It's kind of, after SummerSlam, a little bit of a down,
Sure.
So, but I think the card is going to be good. I think the buildup has been okay. They also only had 3 weeks.
No, 1,000%. And I think what they're going to do in Berlin is going to be great. The stuff that they've done with Gunther, outside of just in ring, like today he was doing a bunch of neck exercises to take the RKO.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which I was like, that's kind of cool. That's a clever. Yeah, that's a clever. It just posted. It just posted like an hour ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that was interesting too.
Do you think like they're not so focused on like the go home because they know the European crowd's going to be so crazy and invested that they can just continue their stories like it's a regular Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah,
I don't think they're focused on the go home because pay-per-views aren't a thing anymore. You're not trying to sell a pay-per-view at the end of that show, right? You're just trying to get people to tune in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's just another show for them. Like pay-per-views back in the day, you needed to buy it. Shit, for me, I had to go rent a cable box, get it back home, then buy the pay-per-view, then invite my friends over.
This guy had to go to fucking Canadian Blockbuster. Right, just drive over the border.
That's right. But like nowadays, everyone's got, what is it in the States? Peacock? I don't even know.
Yeah. You still have network, right? You still have the network. Huh?
Yeah. So everyone in the States has Peacock.
Yeah, they're going to watch it from Australia for a while.
Yeah, that's right.
I was just going to say, Shane Sabre's been illegally streaming it on Twitch. Some guy has a controller up, acts like he's playing the game, and that's how they
get it. How many times I've been rickrolled on Twitter saying, oh, here's the whole event.
Oh,
like, one of these has to be right.
That's incredible. I'm going to give him points just for that one. That was good. I love that. Brad, did you have any other thoughts about Raw, too?
I mean, I thought it was cool that Uncle Howdy had his first match. He's got to get a better wig, though, because that thing was all over the place and just not good.
Yeah, the wig needs to get changed.
So bad.
I enjoyed the match, but the wig needs to get,
And exactly like you said, nobody cared. Nobody seemed to care until the rest of them came out. Again, you can't replace Bray Wyatt. He was like a one-off. It's like someone trying to do The Undertaker again. It would just never work.
That's what I'm saying, and it just feels so forced. And I get, man, that he is still mourning the loss. I can't imagine losing my brother, right? So it's I can't. I don't know how to relate to that. But at the same time, like, man, you're not doing it any justice. Him personally,
I
just
think
isn't.
I think for the fans, like I didn't see the match, so I don't know the reaction. But I feel like the gimmick is everybody. It's all of them together.
Exactly. It
So I
has
think
to
that's
be.
why you're getting a reaction of when everybody comes out.
Sure.
Because that's what
That
everybody
makes
wants to
sense.
see. So singles matches might just not work for the group.
Honestly,
And that's
no one
fine.
wants
The
to
other
watch
thing-
Bo Dallas wrestle, so that's fair. I would love
The
that.
other
If they
thing is
just
there
did-
was no payoff.
Come on,
with
you
Uncle
don't
Howdy.
believe?
I do not believe. I don't believe in him or Joe Hendry.
Oh shit!
You're not a Joe Henry guy?
I'm not a Joe Hendry guy. But that what the fuck do I know about anything? Obviously, if he wrestled in Japan, it'd be 12 stars if he was in the Tokyo Dome.
You know some good companies by that T-shirt you're wearing.
I was gonna
I'm just
say,
saying.
man. shout out to the Northern Crown, man. Go to Brad's and Shane's Instagrams. I know the tickets are November 17th, right, for the next.
Yeah, you coming out? You gonna make the
Look,
trip
man,
down to
when I
Canada?
get booked, I will Jarrett, chair shot, and guitar shot every single human being in that sumbitch.
Perfect. We need a commentator. Come on down.
I would love it. I'm a big commentary guy.
All right, we'll talk.
All right. Up next, the dynamic Dynamite, man. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. I really enjoyed Dynamite. I thought there was a lot of cool stuff. I do love that it's 2 hours, and after an all-in, after pay-per-views, one thing we've talked about, and Fred, we talk about this constantly, is that they struggle in certain situations furthering things. It's almost like they have to restart after a pay-per-view every single time, rather than like furthering something, right? And that's been a struggle for them since day one, to a certain extent. I thought Wednesday was cool, man. Okada and Monet thing, and Okada doing the money dances.
Great.
I'm a huge Okada fan, but he's really, really hilarious. Right? He's doing a lot of great stuff, and he's still banging it out in the ring. I think someone was like, man, imagine signing him for $4 million and getting a 6'4" Tozawa. And I was like, first off, super racist. Second off, he's hilarious. He's hilarious, but he can also still wrestle. It's not like they sent Tozawa out there to not wrestle. Like, that's a completely different story. But all that to be said, Hangman and Swerve, Hammer, I think it's going to be awesome. The Jack versus Bryan Danielson, cool. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm still upset. We'll get into AEW All In and all those things, but all in all, Dynamite was cool. I really enjoyed it. Brad, did you get a chance to watch Dynamite?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good from top to bottom. I wish that it wasn't Jack Perry at the end. I was really, really hoping for Nigel to come out because
the
I
fact
think
that we're not getting a Jawbreaker Lariat right now.
we need Nigel and Brian before Brian hangs it up again. I would do it at the Tacoma Dome, but I think like that's probably where Brian's going to drop the belt, and it doesn't make sense to put it on Nigel.
Doesn't it, though? I mean, I'm in. If they start selling the McGuinness shirts that they used to have of him, I am in. He had like the Guinness logo, but with I'm in.
And the little spikes, his little hair spikes,
yes,
right?
I am all the way in. His gear was, again, we'll talk about All In, but Nigel, yes, would have been awesome.
Other than that, I love the Pac attacking Ricochet on the stage. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But
attacking Will Ospreay, during the Ricochet.
Not Ricochet. Ricochet was in the ring.
They did it in slow-mo, and it was sweet.
The way they did it.
Oh, it was
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, too.
Other than that, though, I mean, that 8-man tag,
yeah.
if I never have to see any of that again, I'd be
Dude,
happy.
I never want to see I hate 8-man tag. I hate I hate all that shit. So again, I'm over it. Freddie, what about you, man? Did you happen to see Dynamite last night?
I didn't get to see it. I did read about some of the stuff that happened, and no, I do watch Dynamite when I can.
No, I feel like you're an avid watcher. That's why I figured I'd know.
But I didn't get to see it last night. But I did see.
He did actually read it in the Dave Meltzer newspaper.
Of course, yeah.
He's got the newspaper. He prints it out each day to look at it.
I do. But no, I mean, All Out looks like it's going to be okay so far. I don't love the Jack Perry thing myself.
Yeah. And we talked about that today too, yeah. And it's like it's a tough thing. And like I said, we'll go into All In after this, and we'll talk about All In. But
I think Jack Perry is a little bitch, but I also love him because he got CM Punk.
That's what I was gonna say. Everybody's he's a bitch. I'm like, y'all, we got Survivor Series moment for the rest of our lives. Yeah. We'll never have that moment ever again.
So thank you, Jack Perry.
So yeah, you should bow to the scapegoat. Shane, what about you? Are you an avid weekly watcher of AEW?
Yeah, I try and catch it. I did catch most of this week.
Sure.
Like I love the Pac moment. Like I love how Will.
I
came
thought
out
that
on
was
the
incredible. I haven't
stage.
seen that done, and I really thought that was cool because they do that constantly where they overlook somebody and then they try to back in the booking.
Yeah.
They did that with Daniel Garcia for a minute too, with that whole thing when they were and I was like, why are we overlooking the person he's supposed to wrestle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that whole I love Garcia, and I think that match is going to be great. I just thought it was weird as well how they put him up, they killed him, and then he came out to cost MJF,
which I kind of thought was good. I thought that was clever because now that furthers
but then
that story.
Hangman came out in the main and kind of cost Swerve.
Yeah, he did the same thing twice.
And then this weekend they Pac attacked Will, and then the next segment was Jack attacking Brian.
Well, yeah, we and me and
I think
Brad talked about their overbooking
too much.
Oh man, every title match on the pay-per-view used the belt.
Cut that promo.
Yeah, I agree. It would have been a hit a lot better.
Segment. Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
And I'm cool if Jack takes it off Brian down the line and just gets him super heat.
I can't imagine him being a world champion right now, but it would be cool because he's done the most gimmick character build almost in the company. I mean, he started from it was so bad that he turned the worst thing to ever happen into an actual character gimmick.
Yeah,
but
Brian, just because he's not full time doesn't mean he doesn't hold a belt for a year.
That's kind of my hope is that he doesn't.
On all the pay-per-views.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know that he's actually retiring. I don't know if we're jumping the gun on that. He did say that this was going to be his last year being a full-time wrestler.
Full-time wrestler,
yeah. So
I think that how did we go from that to he's retiring completely? I don't think he necessarily is. Now, I don't know what that looks like.
Well, I think he said it in the promo. I think he said once he's retiring after he loses the heavyweight.
He said he was retiring as a full-time active wrestler, and I think the reason everyone, I think the reason everyone's jumping the gun is because of how they marketed the Swerve and Danielson match as title versus career.
Yeah, and
now everyone kind of thinks okay, next time he loses, that's it for him.
Well, they also because of every clickbait circle jerker on the internet, post the dumbest shit. To get.
I put out one tweet. Relax.
I'm specifically aiming this at Shane. All right. Well, yeah, Dynamite. That was good. Last headline, and again, I picked a bad week to do it because 2 Canadian footballers, but poor Gable Steveson got cut by the Bills. And it's not the end of it's not the end of his career. People have said, but I wanted to just talk briefly, man. Is WWEers in the NFL? It's kind of crazy. That he's the second one. Brock Lesnar left WWE to then go play football. It's kind of bonkers that you're just like, well, I didn't cut it at WWE, so I guess I'll just play in the toughest league in America. Like, what? It's not like – I'm not saying it's not you have to be a supreme athlete to play in the NFL.
He is an Olympian.
Yeah, at wrestling.
You gotta be
at Greco-Roman freestyle wrestling. Agreed. That's what's so crazy. It's like there's only been 2 to do that. Now, obviously, a lot of them have come the opposit way, right? You got Baron Corbin – Ron Simmons, Lex Luger, all
Bill
these guys, Goldberg,
everybody.
McAfee. Yeah, there's so many. Hey, Pat is a supreme athlete as well.
I love Pat.
Big Pat McAfee guy. He actually promoted. He promoted the NHRA race that is at Indianapolis this weekend. It's the biggest race in what we do in drag racing, and I had to laugh because it took Tony Stewart, a guy who came from NASCAR, to NHRA to get Pat McAfee to even acknowledge that drag racing existed, and I was like. Hell yeah, Pat McAfee in a funny car. That's kind of cool. Anyways, footballers to that. Gable Steveson got cut. What are your guys? I mean, how do you feel, Freddie? Who's your favorite? Is Goldberg? He's your number one, or are you a big Baron Corbin guy, NFL or to WWE?
I mean, I like Baron Corbin, but I mean, I guess I would say Goldberg's the most successful.
That shit doesn't matter. It's just which one do you like the most, man? Fuck all that bullshit.
We're also forgetting Moose.
Yeah, Moose is a big one, and Moose.
Say his name right.
Yeah.
It's Kiwanaka, right? Or how do you pronounce his last name?
Ojuwaka? Not even a try.
Moose.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about because Moose is probably the most successful NFLer besides Steve Mongo McMichael to wrestle, right? I mean, Pat obviously is the most successful to cross over in reality, like as far as successful in football. But Moose played in the league for a long time. Top Dollar played for like 4 years. I mean, he got a check for a long time.
Didn't even know he played.
Yeah, dude, he's a big deal in Jacksonville. He sucked, obviously, but
yeah.
So how were his flip dives?
Could you imagine? He's out there showing him how. Don't let that guy live. That wasn't his fault. He had one botch, and y'all will never let him live it down. I don't believe it. But
Yeah,
Fred,
that's how
do
it
you
works.
have a favorite footballer that made it through? Or vice versa, that's left us? Are you more excited about Gable getting another opportunity in the NFL? Because you don't hate it, but you're just not a big football guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I watch, occasionally. I'm not
He's lying. Don't lie to the fans here.
I do joke all the time that I hate sports, right? That's my gimmick.
If this were March Madness, he would immediately be angry. So
that's a different story. No, please. Thank God WrestleMania is later this year. Otherwise, I'd be really pissed off.
Poor Freddie.
But yeah, no, I guess I'd have to go with Goldberg because I'm partial to the legends, but I think Baron Corbin is a way more talented wrestler than Goldberg is.
Yeah.
But
I think he's done a really good job transitioning. I do think, Shane, it's funny that you mentioned Moose. I think Moose has probably been he's probably the best wrestler that's come from the NFL. Like, because he's done a lot of cool shit. He was great in Ring of Honor. And
I don't know.
great in TNA.
Baron Corbin's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's very underrated. Like, people always hate him, but like he plays the heel. Like,
Yeah.
he always did a great job at that.
That's
and then
fair.
when he needs to wrestle, he fucking wrestles.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Have there been any Canadian footballers to come through to
the good old CFL.
Yeah, there's this one guy, you might have heard of him. What's
The Rock.
his name?
The
Shit,
Rock.
yeah, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
God.
Yeah.
I was trying to avoid The Rock on this entire podcast, and it didn't work. God damn it.
No.
Don't set me up for Canadian football.
There's indie wrestler John Atlas who has a
That's right.
Grey Cup.
He's got
sick.
2 Grey Cups, rode the
Two
bench the whole
Grey
time.
Cups.
What position did he play?
At the bench.
The bench.
Well, y'all got a bunch of fictional positions. I just saw someone win on that Rouge that you were telling me, Brad, last week.
Missed field goal out of the end zone. They got
To
1
win the
point,
game.
missed the field goal. Won the game.
That's
Most bullshit
wild.
rule in sports I've ever seen.
I was like, holy shit, that's some Bill Belichick coaching. The guy's like, look, I don't give a shit if you miss it or make it. We win either
Just
way.
kick it as hard as you can.
Yeah, as long as it goes through the end. It has to go through the end zone, obviously, right?
Yeah, because then it's considered a touchback. You get 1 point.
Incredible.
I don't even know what that is. I don't have a fucking clue.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. It's
I'll
quite,
teach you.
quite a while.
Come to
Yeah.
the game Monday. I'll teach you.
Oh, yeah.
I used to be my algorithm used to just be like aimed at me with Canadian stuff because of Brad, and so I followed
Sorry for
TSN. I thought
Okay.
TSN was a sports thing in America that just showed Canadian sports, but it is your guys' ESPN, and I did not.
That's right.
Wild, crazy stuff. But all right, well, those are the headlines for the week. A little different approach. Now, here's what we really want to talk about, and I'm just going to ask you your favorite match, your favorite moment, least favorite moment, that type of thing. We're going to talk a little bit about All In this past weekend in Wembley, 55K plus. Did they do the announcement where they announced the?
No, they sure didn't.
You know what? Good. That's almost better.
That's right.
Because I don't need them making up
absolutely.
fictional numbers anyway. So yeah, there was a lot of people. I thought the stage was really cool. He set up, except for, and I called this out to Fred. I was like, WWE would have never allowed whoever forgot the last 20 feet of carpet, from carpet to the mat.
Uh-huh.
I was like, who the fuck is getting fired? Someone's getting fired. There's no way that they got there and Saturday and was like, oh shit, we can't find black carpet in fucking London. Like, what are they? Why did that happen? That is so bad. And the worst is, everybody saw it. It wasn't like you could hide it and never show it. It's so close to the ring. I was embarrassed for that part. I was like, damn, man, this is $1 billion corporation that Tony Khan's running. And that was fucking Bush League. But
I didn't see the whole show.
Sure.
But what were the streamers hanging down?
So the streamers were
Max had
when Max
entrance,
came out with the entrance, yeah. And they got
And they-
stuck because
And they
they
just
were
got
in the
stuck there.
in the
Oh, yeah.
scaffolding. In the scaffolding.
This is like the biggest thing with AEW, I find. I don't think they ever think things through. I think they went, this will be a really cool visual, let's do it, and then the rest of the show they were probably like, oh shit,
This
Yeah.
was dumb.
how do we get these down?
Yeah, I guess
Shit.
unless you've done it before, you don't know. So they're just like,
Yeah.
it looks cool. Oh shit, next time.
That is one thing where there's not a foolproof plan sometimes, and we talked about that for production. I think that I think the beginning production is so cool and the stuff that they do, but then there's other production points where you're just like, and there's some guys like, well, that's not my job. And it's like,
How
well,
did this happen? Like, how did
the
it get
fuck?
greenlit? Now we have streamers hanging down.
Yeah, it
for
was a
the
little
entire
weird.
rest of the show.
Yeah, it was a little weird the way they came down. But yeah, favorite match for me, I'll kick this one off. I thought overall, obviously, Danielson and Swerve was great, but my favorite match was Tony versus Mariah. I thought that's the best a top 3 female match of all time. They continued that story correctly the whole time. There was no botches during the match that were noticeable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes, unfortunately, when they try to do stuff, they're just not as confident, where, like, men can sometimes play it off or whatever because it feels like they've gotten more ring time or whatever it may be. But Mariah and Tony, I thought that the whole match was great. I also think Mariah's Japanese wrestling has obviously helped her significantly more than a lot of females who just wrestle in America. And so I thought that was my favorite match. I mean, I really, really enjoyed that part of it, and the story and the way that they capped the story off was really, really good. So the one thing I thought was random is her slapping her mom. I was like, all right, I don't know what that has to do with the story.
Trying to get heat, brother.
I guess, yeah, that's one way to do it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I thought that was probably my favorite match on the card. So that was for me. Fred, I'm going to go with you because you're the resident AEW. You still watch, obviously, but it's not your favorite. So what about you, man? Favorite match, least favorite match?
My favorite match, I'd have to say, was the main event.
Yeah.
I was captivated by it. The drama of the main event captivated me. I'm also a big Daniel Bryan fan. Despite
What did you say his name was?
Fucking Bryan.
Yeah,
Thank you.
loose points.
Thank you. I should take away a point for incorrect name. Go ahead.
Stupid.
It's his real fucking name.
Yeah, well, his WWE one's better.
No, it's significantly worse.
Damn.
That's everybody knows him as, though.
All right.
JR,
you know what?
calls
JR
him
even called him that, and I was like, you motherfucker. Botched it.
But no, I really enjoyed that. Swerve has grown on me. At first I was like, Swerve is the fucking champion? Like, you know, I just didn't see it.
You sure?
And I still am not sure I'm sold on the idea of Swerve as champion, but everything he's been doing has been.
What about him specifically makes you think he's not a star? Do you? And I ask you this because
purely perception.
That's what I'm saying. Your singular perception is that because is it because he's not big? Is it because he's not?
That was part of it, but he's put on size.
Sure.
So
I also like to Fred's credit. Like, I don't think AEW has given him the best perception after he won the title.
Sure.
No.
Right.
Like, the day after he won the title, he was in the first match against Fletcher, which was an awesome fucking match.
Right.
But it was just so random. There was no championship celebration.
Sure.
There was none of that, which they'd done for all the other guys
I see what you're
and
saying.
girls to make them look big. Like, I feel like he's just been in some weird spots. But I fucking love Swerve. Like, he's one of my top guys.
Yeah, no, I always liked him. I always loved, like, in WWE, I loved the gimmick he did with the rapping and all that. I'm a big hip-hop fan, so I really enjoyed that. I think, too, is like when he first came to AEW, he was kind of doing nothing with Keith Lee and all that.
They got a weird thing. When he came out, it was almost like people didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And I thought that was weird. Like, because you remember the first time he signed the thing with he did it with Shivani right on stage when he came out, when he debuted. Yeah. So to your point, you're saying it's not, I don't know if you're sold. And I thought like a lot of that is because people, if you're looking strictly at a look, right, you're judging, I think Swerve's, and this is an AEW issue as a whole, probably is that you're judging it solely by the cover, right? Imagine not knowing anything about Swerve, his music. You don't know his entrance. You don't know you have never seen a vignette that he's done. You never saw his promo or you never saw stuff with Hangman. You're basing it solely on look. People are like, I don't know if he looks like a champion, right?
Right.
I think that's the consensus sometimes. However, I'm obviously like, I think the stuff that they have done with him, like Bun B, DJ Who Kid, like that's a presentation with rap superstars, right? Rap royalty, which is really cool. And he has one of the most,
that was cool.
Yeah, one of the most over entrances. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? So I get what you're saying, though. So that's fair.
But I think, but Saturday or Sunday helped me
believe it a little more, right?
Yeah.
Even in the loss.
I think there's a phrase in wrestling, getting over without going over.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Bully Ray special.
Yeah.
Gay. But I think that's what happened on Sunday. I think he got over without getting over.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think so too. Did you have a least favorite match? The answer is consensus is Hook Jericho, obviously.
I was gonna say probably Hook Jericho, and you know what? I don't want to be a Jericho hater. I am a Jericho fan. I think it's disrespectful to tell him to please retire and all that.
Why?
He's earned his right to do what the fuck he wants, and he's not having bad matches.
He is having bad matches. He's having bad feuds and bad matches. That's exactly what he's fucking doing. He's doing exactly what you're saying.
Do you really think he's had? All right, I'm not saying the match with Hope was good.
Yeah, because I'll tell you this, man.
But I don't think he's going out there and being. I don't think he's embarrassing himself. Like, it's not fucking Dory Funk Jr. going out there.
Okay,
like
that was
weekend.
First off.
Yeah,
we're not going to disrespect the Funk name right now.
But we'll disrespect Jericho. But Dory Funk Jr.
because Dory Funk never stormed the Capitol or acted like a fucking imbecile online. Dory Funk's just some old Texan who showed up to fucking Japan to get blown up.
He doesn't know how to use Twitter.
Right. Here's my thing, and it's the only thing I'm going to say about the Jericho thing. The whole piece about Jericho is, I love Jericho. I have his books. I'm a big Jericho guy. I think The Rock thing, Judas was awesome. All this stuff. However, I've never seen him not be able to get something over until now. The learning tree is miserable. It's a dumb fucking. I don't like it.
Well, Rudy Tooty Fruity Fruity or whatever the fuck.
Are you saying it's not over?
I would say that it's not over.
I think people hate him, and then when he comes out, there was a lot of people when he faked that dive and went, "Hey guys," everybody went, "Hey guys."
I don't like it, so maybe he's just not over with me. How about that?
Also, I feel like we talked about this last week, and I'm just going to regurgitate the same thing I said last week. He's a heel. You're not supposed to like what he's doing.
That's not the
point. He's supposed to make you annoyed, and it's supposed to make you
but annoyed to the point where I want to annoyed to the point where I want to watch him lose. That's the point.
That's
of
a good heel.
Yeah.
That is a great heel.
But I don't want to watch him lose. I don't want to see him on TV. Right. That was my point. A heel is supposed to make you hate him. You want to see him get beat up. You want to see all this. I want to see Jericho leave. Remember when he used to do that in WWE, Freddie? He'd disappear for a while, then all of a sudden he'd come back. That's what I need. Can't Fozzy go on tour? God damn.
I think that's good for a lot of wrestlers, though.
I think that should be a normal thing. Yeah, I think you should. I think you should work. I think you should work 9 months out of the year as a wrestler and leave for 3.
I do too. Time. Yeah. And that's what used to be basically. That was the territory system. Guys would work for. And then leave and go to a different territory.
And then Vince McMahon ruined it by making Hulk Hogan work 400 days a year. If you can believe it.
Don't disrespect Big Terry.
All that to say, Brad, what about you, man? Favorite match?
It sounds so cliche, but like the main event was like picture perfect. They couldn't have done better if they tried.
I agree.
They had elements of, believing Danielson was about to lose and his whole career was going to end, and then he stares at his family and just keeps eating those kicks and firing up, and just like, oh man, it was so good. It had me, like Freddie said, it had me captivated. It was just absolute cinema.
Yeah, him screaming "I love you" to his family was
it's just so good. Everything about it was perfect. He came out to the final countdown.
What'd you say, Fred? I'm sorry.
I got very like WWE main event vibes from it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. That's fair.
But a good wrestling match. But,
also an amazing match. Yeah.
Emotion.
The big pressure, I saw that on the big pressure when he hit that, when Swerve hit that and then he didn't win. I was like, damn, that's a great close pinfall. I thought that was incredible. I am excited about a rematch at some point, obviously, and I do like that Hangman. Shane, I'll let you go first after I say this, but I do think that Hangman and Swerve's going to continue to elevate both of them as well. But Shane, what about you? What was your favorite match?
The Casino Gauntlet.
No,
I didn't watch the whole show. I watched about 3 matches so far.
Yeah,
I did watch the main event. I
so
loved it.
you love the Gauntlet? Who was your favorite debut?
The Gauntlet was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm a big Royal Rumble guy, so
same.
That in a match is just so interesting to me, and I think they've been doing it well lately.
You know what's so crazy is they called it a gauntlet, okay? And so the crazy thing for me is the whole time I was trying to figure out, they were like praising Orange Cassidy getting the number 1 slot, and I was like, why the fuck would anybody in a gauntlet want the 1 slot? I want the last slot.
Because you can win it at any time.
Dude, I didn't even realize you could win it at any time.
I didn't know
until like 10 people in. I was like, oh shit, you can win it if you pin anybody. I was mind blown. I was like, holy okay. Now
they really thought, we were watching it, we really thought when Christian came out, he was going to be running to the ring as the 3 count happened. And I thought that would have been amazing.
That would have been awesome.
They're going to,
because then it's like,
said it.
Yeah.
How did I almost almost get my chance to get that title shot, but I just couldn't get to the ring
But they
fast
did that
enough
with
because I was in that ladder match.
The last gauntlet they did when Will won it. Roddy didn't come out, but he was the next person, so he got a title match because he didn't have a chance to go out.
Gotcha.
But I feel
so that's
like
an interesting way to do
defeats
that.
the purpose of the gauntlet.
So
I really like the visual of Christian like running to the ring, hurt, banged up from being in the ladder match earlier, and the finish happens.
Yeah, I'll tell you this though. The gauntlet was my least favorite moment, that ending. I thought the gauntlet as a whole was awesome because I'm a huge Nigel fan. As I mentioned, I fucking love his Ring of Honor.
The ending was a little bit flat.
Dude, at what point are we getting Luchasaurus to dude, this is, you want to talk about fucking jumping the shark or missing your boat. This is like Luchasaurus not turning on Christian at this point is dude, this is like Sammy losing bad. That's where I'm at with it. Like, that's how angry
it should have happened months ago, absolute months ago. And then when he came out as Luchasaurus, it was like, okay, now it's finally the chance.
And then they don't give it to you, and it's like,
no.
You remember when Acclaimed didn't win at all? They didn't win it all out, right?
Yeah.
And then they won at Grand Slam or whatever, which is whatever. That's fine. But like, to have them not win, you're taking it from me, and you're not. Everyone's like, oh, well, we're building and we're building and we're building. It's like, no, this is the build. There's no more building.
And you had that perfect moment for it too.
Yeah, and that's
you
where I
teased
felt
it
like
with the Luchasaurus graphics, and it was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is the time.
Yep.
And then they didn't do it.
Yeah,
and
so that was my
understand why.
least favorite moment, Shane, when the gauntlet, that part of the gauntlet. But I did love the rest of the gauntlet. Was really awesome. What was your least favorite of the matches you saw? Did you have a least favorite? Is there anything you were disappointed in?
The trio. Oh no, I was disappointed in nothing.
Okay.
But out of the three, if I have to pick one, the trios ladder match, because the third one I saw was the main event. I can't.
Yeah,
I
the
can't
trios.
look at
Honestly, though, the trios match wasn't really that good either, and I don't understand why we're giving.
It's just one of those like car crashes.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, why are we
does,
giving Pac a title and then you're putting him in this match with Will? Obviously, Will's not going to lose, and that's. But like, what are we? Why?
Well, what do you mean? Obviously, Will's not going to lose. What? Pac's awesome.
Yeah, Pac is awesome.
Giving it to Pac. I can see them giving it to him.
Yeah, that'd be sick if they didn't just give him some stupid 6-man title and put him with.
They love giving people two titles.
That I was gonna do a best of the worst where you had to keep one of the shitty titles in the wrestling promotions. That's what I was gonna do. Best of the worst. You got to keep one of them, and it's like Ring of Honor Trios title, the 24/7 title. I was trying to think of other.
I'm keeping the 24/7 title 100%.
Yeah, I might have to keep that one as well. I'm not. I like trios matches, but to have a whole division on them, it's so hard. I find
there's just not enough out there.
Everybody
wants to be the bad. Everybody wants to be Bad Street, right? Everybody wants to be the Freebirds.
Yeah, and
that's just not a thing anymore, man. It's just,
like there's a company in Ontario that Brad and I work for that has a trios belt, and it's on the same people, or just a mashup of teams. It's just so hard. Like two people tag team so much easier, but to get 6 people committed to a match.
Yeah, you're
everything like it's so hard. Yeah.
Fred, did you have a least favorite moment of the whole pay-per-view?
Moment? I mean,
the logo AEW.
I was gonna say, was it just watching it in general?
I really thought they put on a good show. I actually enjoyed it. I have to admit, I hate to admit it, but I have to. I enjoyed the show.
Okay, all right.
I really did. I thought overall it was a really good pay-per-view. I love the pageantry of a big show.
Yeah.
I thought I love the pyro and all that. I love the view of it.
Should we just go to Dallas next year for All In or for All Out or what?
Yes.
Well, no,
First of all, why aren't we calling it Y'all In?
Y'all.
Oh my God.
That's what it needs to be called.
Get the domain. Get the T-shirts printed. Let's make some money.
Fantastic.
Get your tickets now at y'allin.com.
That's right. Y'all
Jeff
In,
Jarrett,
brother.
Jay Lethal, and everybody. Obviously,
Northern Crown will run a show with PJ North performing.
Deal in tech. Well, no, I don't do that anymore. But
all right, you can race around the building.
The one thing I do want to talk about before we go to the next topic is, and Brad, me and you talked about this. We were texting during the event. Just the overbooking of title shot of the belts being involved in the match. Why don't you give your? I'm gonna let you just go off on it.
Yeah. So first of all, the one thing I immediately noticed watching it was that they never put the belts in the same spot. So during the women's title match, it was sitting in the corner. Yeah. During the All Atlantic match or whatever the title belt's called now, it was on a pedestal. And then during the main event, it was with the timekeeper. And it was just like, make it make sense, guys. Like, if you're gonna leave it there for one, leave it there for all of them. But every single title match, they did a belt spot, and I don't understand why. Like, do we not have agents anymore? Like, this is the whole reason why you're supposed to talk to people. Hey, are you doing a belt thing in your match?
They should have that.
Every single title match did it. And I just don't understand why.
That's one of the Jeff Jarrett things, right? Is he's like, man, they overbooked. That's overbooked Memphis bullshit, right? That's an old saying in wrestling, overbooked. Freddie, did you share that same sentiment about the belts?
Yeah, I mean, they need. There's been other things that have happened, whether it's table spots or whatever. There needs to be more diligence in not doing
the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like the first time you see it, it's like, damn, okay, he really wants to win this match.
Yeah.
And then the 9th time you see it, it's like, can we put the belt somewhere else, guys? Like, for the love of God.
Leave the belt in the back.
Yeah.
Shane, obviously you only saw 3 of the matches, so you only saw 1 of the belt shots.
I didn't even see the belt shot.
Oh, okay.
In the main?
Yeah, didn't they do a main belt? No, they overbooked it with Hangman coming out.
Yeah, they had Hangman right after they had Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, which was I like both of those things. I like the Daniel Garcia one. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was cool because I didn't picture that at all. I didn't even think about that.
No, not especially in London.
Yeah, but the Hangman thing I thought makes sense for that storyline, except he really didn't get involved other than a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So it was even more weird.
I kind of like the barricade, and he was taken out right away.
Yeah,
like I kind of like that instead of him physically getting involved.
Yeah, it makes it adds to that story between them too, right? Because you're like,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a cool way. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, All In, man. Overall, like I said, I thought it was incredible. They haven't missed on a pay-per-view, and it wasn't actually that long. It didn't string on. I mean, probably because it was during the day that helped. But it didn't.
Yeah, 100%.
And I didn't watch any of 0 hours. I didn't watch any 0 hours.
It was still 4 hours, 5 hours.
It was 4 hours, I think, right?
Yeah, so that's still too long, but
fair enough.
Especially now that I find that they're doing more frequent pay-per-views. So
yeah, they don't really need to do the long ones anymore. I do hope.
It's draining on me.
If you watch 0 Hour and watch that god awful 16-man tag match that was on there, which I'm shocked is not your favorite match of the night.
16.
Yeah, there was a 16-man tag match. It was
so
awful.
Yeah. A lot of people.
But yeah,
they're just trying to give everybody a gig, right?
2 hours.
Yeah,
get them all on the card. I get it. Do a battle royal for love of God.
That's what they should have just added to the Casino Gauntlet and made it 40-man, right? 40-man gauntlet.
If you're gonna do that, you got to do the Casino Battle Royal, which I don't like as much as the.
That's the one where you had to climb up and get the thing, right? Yeah.
No, that's the money
Casino ladder match.
The casino ladder match.
That's the one, Page one, right?
Yeah,
the
one where they gave him the giant coin or the giant.
The poker chip.
Yeah, poker chip.
Oh, that's the brass ring. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. No, that was GCW poker chip.
Chip. All right. Well, All In, man, and All Out next week. So we're the AEW just back to back hammering them.
That's so much.
All right. Well, let's go through. Let's do Bash in Berlin, man. It's gonna happen. This is a much obviously shorter card, which is great. We'll just go through. Tell me who you think's gonna win, and if you have any commentary.
I have a quick question.
Shoot it.
Yes, it's a shorter card, but it's not necessarily shorter with all the videos and the promos.
No, not short. I meant less matches. No, because the reason they do that is to change over the ring, right? That's why they do so much of that stuff. To change over
they got to take the apron off and do this.
Yeah, they also don't have to miss 20 foot of carpet, and everything will be much easier laid out, obviously, in Berlin. So I think
probably get a cool set.
Yeah, it'll probably look cool.
You know, the first thing I said to my friends when we saw the stage at All In was like, ticket sales must not be as good as last year, because last year that whole back area
was open. And they talked about different stuff, right? And again, that's another thing. It's like, whatever, they still sold 55,000. I don't give a shit.
Listen, it's great, impressive. And I like the bigger stage better, but it was just like, that was the first glaring thing after how big of a success last year's was like, oh, interesting, okay.
All right. I agree with that. I'm interested to see how All Out does. I haven't seen ticket sales or anything like that, but obviously in Chicago always helps. Goes a long way, right? They're in Chicago for like 2 weeks, though, which makes it really tough on fans. It's like, fuck. But I think Mario, our friend Mario's going. I always call him Mario. Mario's going in the All Out crew in our chat. So maybe I'll get some of them to give us some feedback next week. All right, Bash at Berlin. Here we go. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. I'm starting at the hammer. Starting right up the top. Freddie, who you got?
Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. All right, just making sure. Brad, who you got?
It's got to be Cody.
Yeah. Shane?
Oh, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Cody for sure, and I assume it's going to open the show.
See, I thought that too. I think that same sentiment.
I don't know how you don't have Gunther main event in Berlin.
You have to.
Especially
absolutely
that
have to.
match
Yeah, it's going to be
huge.
so good.
Yeah. Okay. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre in a Dave Batista new movie strap match. That's what they're calling it.
Nice.
I don't know. Subject to change title-wise. Shane, who you going with, Drew or Punk?
Punk. And is this the strap match where you have to touch all four corners?
Yes, they made that apparent this time. Finally, it's finally the point of the strap match.
I saw a stat that Punk and Drew each have one strap match in WWE, and Punk won his, and Drew lost his.
Hell yeah!
So I think Punk wins because Drew won at SummerSlam. Give it a third Hell in a Cell of Bad Blood.
Okay, all right.
Let's
so
go.
we're going a little rubber match. Freddie, what about you, man? Punk or Drew?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Punk on this one. I think Punk has to win.
Oh,
this
man, I just said that.
God, heel Sabre over here. What a guy. I thought Canucks were nice. Brad, what about you, man? Punk or Drew?
It's got to be Punk. You have to set up for some sort of big blow-off because I don't think a strap match is a big enough match to be a blow-off, especially if they're doing the touch the four corners gimmick.
See, I think touch the four corners makes the most sense. That's how a strap match should work, so I'm excited to see
I get you, but if you're having a big blow-off, you can't really have a definitive winner with touching the four corners, whereas if you do a Hell in a Cell match, you can have
Oh, no, I'm saying I'm just saying the strap match I like that part of the strap match. I don't really care who wins. It's going to be awesome, but I do think Punk has to win because I think every time he loses, he becomes less believable, in my opinion. I like Punk. He's not my favorite wrestler by any stretch. I do appreciate the levity of the situation and being back, but it's not my favorite thing. I'm like, okay. I do think the storyline's amazing. I think their story is great, obviously. So I'm excited to see it. That's why I think the strap match is really cool. I can't believe that Miguel and Art are going to get some sort of blow-off, though, Freddie. This is bullshit. Miguel doesn't deserve that as a fan.
I know. I wish I was
such a great match. All right. The worst match in the history of WWE PLEs. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Brad, I'll start with you.
who cares?
Yeah, I agree. They got to break up Bianca and Jade this time, right?
I think
I was going to say Alba Fire and Isla Dawn win, and Jade just turns on Bianca.
Jade's just like tired of losing. Yeah, that'd be sick.
I think that'll start out with like a really good feud for those two.
They have to because Jade is just that whole thing is god awful.
It's so bad, and like the first time they did it, I was like, okay, I can get behind this, and now it hasn't gone anywhere. There's been no character progression or anything like that. There's been any reason for me to care about it.
Yeah.
So let's just end it.
The fact that we're getting a women's tag title match on the card and not a men's is baffling to me.
Wild.
Crazy. Okay.
We're only getting it because it's Bianca and Jade.
No, 1,000%. I get it. I'm not knocking. Yeah, because like I said, I'm a big Jade fan and Bianca fan. So not that I don't like Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, but I also think they should have a tag team name. Like, what are we doing? All right, Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, the Twin Towers, taking on Liv and Dom. I'll kick this one off. I'm gonna go Liv and Dom. I do think Rhea and Damian win, but I would like to see Liv and Dom. I just think that the heels like that tend to lose a lot more in WWE, where they're not. It's like you've built it all this way, and you're not going to give a heel a win here at this point. So I don't know, man. I would like to see Liv and Dom win. I think it would be cool. Shane, what about you?
I'm going to go no contest.
Oh,
I think the Judgment Day gets involved.
Hell
Either they're going to get involved and help Liv and Dom win, but I think they get involved and the match just kind of gets thrown out and everybody starts brawling.
Man, I don't know what I'm going to do in our pool if that happens because we all lose on that one. That would suck. If I lose because Finn Balor and Carlito come out, I'd be so pissed.
Really? Yeah, come to me.
I should put this on here. No contest is not an option, Miguel. Fred, what about you, man?
I think it's got to be Rhea and Damian.
Okay, Rhea and Damian.
Yeah, only because I feel after they got screwed at SummerSlam, unless they're going to continue it,
They have to continue it. Right?
Yeah.
They have.
It's like one of the best storylines going on.
Yeah, but I mean, continuing it together. Like, will they go off?
Yeah, they have to. I think they have to because until you get Finn and Damian, what's the point?
Yeah.
Right? And until
I think Rhea and Priest are going to be tied at the hip for quite a while going forward, whether they're doing tags or not. I think, like the Judgment Day, they'll kind of be together.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah, I like them together. The
Terror Twins.
Terror Twins, right?
Yeah.
Someone commented on Twitter today and was like, I can't believe they're calling these people twins, and it showed like the age of Damian Priest and the age of Rhea. I was like, I love the internet. It's undefeated.
They look good together, though.
Brad, what about you, man? Who are you picking?
I'm going to say Liv and Dom up. Dom gets a dirty pin on Rhea, which sets up a match between Rhea and Dom at Bad Blood.
Okay.
Mixed tags. I don't think the men can pin the ladies.
Yeah, I do think mixed tags is also suck as far as
that
goes because
they're going to do something. They're going to do something like that. I guarantee it. Either that or Rhea's going to pin Dom.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. He's got long hair anyway. That'd be interesting. Okay, last one, man. Gunther and Randy Orton. Freddie.
Wow, that's fast.
Freddie. I know, right? It goes by so quick. Gunther and Randy. What's your thoughts? Who's going to win?
Gunther.
Yeah. What's your
The Ring General?
The Ring General. I do like. You got to watch that vignette when we get done here about him doing the training thing. He's like,
yeah, I want to see that. That's
he said
cool.
Orton's only in WWE because his last name's Orton.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. He said he wouldn't have never been anything had his last name not been Orton. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good
Gunther
vignette.
doesn't have a last name.
Right.
I was about to say the same thing.
That's how good Gunther is. Gunther's like, I don't need a last. I don't. Not only do I not live off my last name, I don't need one.
That's right.
Have one.
Incredible. All right, so you're going Gunther. What about you, Brad?
Yeah, it's got to be Gunther. I don't think Orton makes sense to be champion at this point in his career.
Yeah,
I think
taking it off Gunther one time and losing it
would be terrible. Yeah, it's got to be Gunther. It's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I got.
Shane, what about you, man?
Also Gunther. But if this was Vince McMahon WWE, it'd be Orton. And then Orton and Cody wrestle at WrestleMania to combine the titles again.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
That's what it would have been.
What a great time that would be. We could have talked about the Vince McMahon doc that's coming out, but I'll save that for another time.
Yeah, how's that coming out? There's no way he's not going to sue them for it not to come out, right?
Well, you can do a documentary on that. You can't. There's no libel. All it is factual information.
He's part of it. Vince is part of it.
There's no way he's part of this new one.
But it says there are interviews.
But are they new ones? They're new ones or they're old ones?
They're old ones. Yeah.
So that's on that can be used. It's all public information that they can buy or that they can get from Getty or media companies where they can get that footage. That's not. Unless it's a new one.
I read that he did interviews for this.
Yeah, before he got caught up in sex trafficking.
Oh, well,
right?
all right. But it's still a part of the...
yeah, sure. Maybe.
He's on board with it. It's not like they're doing this unauthorized documentary.
Okay. Well, that's good then.
Well,
I didn't know if he signed off on the new one.
Somewhat unauthorized.
That's what I'm interested to see.
I'm sure it's going to be some people are just going to shit all over him.
We'll have a deep dive. We'll have a deep dive when it comes out.
Brad.
Maybe we'll do an episode. Right, I was going to just say that. What bad choice of words over here. I feel like the Brady Bunch. Brad's like looking up over at Shane in the thing. It's incredible.
Yeah, we are in different spots from
I love
what everybody else is seeing.
I love
that.
If
I was looking at him on this thing, I'd have to do this.
All right, one of the fun things we do here, man. I go to my random bag of tricks and come out with a random question of the week here on the Randomizer. And this week, something I thought of that I thought was really kind of crazy is we talk a lot about our favorite wrestlers and obviously all those things, but what is one wrestler you would bring back in their prime to right now? So it can be your favorite wrestler, obviously, if it's that, but bring a wrestler back in their prime to this time period. So whatever was their gimmick in their prime, they don't get to change their gimmick. It's their gimmick when they were that in their prime to right now, and then drop them into a storyline. What would you do? So Shane, you're new to the pod. What about you, man? What would you do?
Yeah,
who would you bring?
Owen Hart.
Okay.
Drop him anywhere.
King of Hearts, obviously, when he's healed.
Maybe don't say drop him.
Oh yeah.
God almighty, dark. Man, this podcast took a huge turn.
Yeah, I think Owen. I think he can run a feud with somebody where he's got to leave the business. He comes back as the Blue Blazer. There's so much to do, and he was fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
I love watching his old stuff, and to see him tear it up with like the guys nowadays would be.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I think he was really good.
Especially AEW, to put him with all those guys, it would be amazing.
Yeah, he was a great in-ring wrestler and also a great promo. I really enjoyed his stuff all the time. So that's a good one. All right. What about you, Freddie?
You know who I'm bringing.
No, I know. So which part? Because I do feel like Taker had a couple different primes.
Yeah.
So tell me which one.
Just as I love the American Badass, I want Taker in the black coat, black hat.
Okay.
The phenom.
Okay. So you're dropping him in, and you're dropping him in. What's your first feud you're going with?
I think something with Uncle Howdy.
Oh yeah, where he murders Uncle Howdy. That'd be awesome. Maybe he could throw him off of
I want a Roman.
Jesus Christ.
You want him? I'm sorry, him versus Roman.
Yeah, because I want them to redo the 33 match.
Yeah.
And with this Roman.
Is that a Siamese cat? I'm sorry. Is that a Siamese cat on our screen? What is happening right now? It's a hairless.
I thought there was a giant pussy on the screen. There was.
Yeah, there in fact was. That's incredible. Okay, so Undertaker, you bringing him back in his prime. What year specifically do you consider like that prime that you're talking about?
I think like Taker like
96. Or you're talking about?
No, I think the best Taker we saw.
Okay.
As far as physicality, promo, presentation, everything, I'm gonna go like 06 to 08.
Okay.
I think
cool.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, the original Undertaker.
No, obviously
that's.
I was just wondering. Yeah, that makes sense.
But like as far as character, but yet in ring at the same time, he was allowed to do. He combined everything. And he was. I mean, you look at him; he was in the best shape in those years.
Yeah.
As far as
he was doing a ton of cool shit then too.
Fucker was jacked.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
Anyway,
if he was signed to AEW, who would you put him against?
Fuck. Christ. We had this talk.
I honestly
where I watched it.
That. Yeah.
Where I watched it, we were joking about like what would I do if Undertaker showed up at All In and whatever. But listen, I would have to. He'd be an exception. I'd have to.
That's fair.
Cheer him
Everybody's got their exception. Look, there's an exception to every rule.
But I'd be heartbroken, but I'd have to still support him.
Yeah, but who does he go against besides?
Who does he go against in AEW?
Obviously, Darby Allin.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I guess.
So you can murder
right?
him.
Yeah,
off the top of the cage.
There's really nobody in AEW that like I want to see him face.
Sting.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, right? That would have,
Well, that could have happened.
Brothers of Destruction versus the Young Bucks. Let's go.
God, what a shit match that would be. Brad,
Jesus,
what about you, man?
I'm gonna go Eddie Guerrero.
Okay. Nice. What prime version? The ECW, WCW, or those years where he was world champion?
Yeah, I'm gonna say world champion years for sure.
Okay.
And I think you drop him right into a storyline with Dom right away.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Where he comes to avenge Ray type of thing.
That's right.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
No, you side him with Dom. He goes full blown heel.
Sick. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I
love
love
that.
that.
His father. Yeah,
that's right. He's coming to save his son.
No,
amazing.
He lost that ladder match.
I'm trying to think. When I thought of this question, I was trying to think of like who I would bring back. But the reason it made me think of this was Sid obviously passing away. I enjoyed Sid as a kid, right? Ruler of the world, master of the universe, ruler of the world. I always thought he was great. So, kind of made me think of that. Like, who would I bring back as a prime? I would say WCW Booker T. That when he was peaking, right, and he was having that best of 5 series with Benoit and like those type of things, or in that first time he won the world title in WCW, I just don't think he got the love in WWE that he really deserved.
Really?
I just think that he really deserved to be a top guy in WWE world title guy. And I think if you brought him back right now, I mean, look at how hot Trick is, and everyone compares him and Trick, skill set wise, talent wise, a lot of those things. But Booker was a better promo, and Booker could go in the ring a little bit better than Trick can. And so, like, I just think he would be super over with that. And I would put Prime Booker T back in it. Man, I was a big Booker T guy.
I was never like a WCW guy.
They don't get that up there, so I get it. You guys probably didn't get that a lot of time.
We don't like that southern
when
stuff.
Booker T, like King Booker, when he was having the best of, I think, 7 with Benoit on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess later on, when he's U.S. heavyweight.
I thought,
I just thought he really deserved a world title run in WWE that he didn't get.
He had it.
King Booker.
No. He wasn't world champion as King Booker.
Oh, he for sure was.
Fred, was he world champion? No, I'm asking the He won the world title?
As King Booker.
Mysterio at the Great American Bash.
God, grow up, PJ.
I was not watching WWE at that time.
Lose points for yourself.
Yeah, I will take points away. Okay, well, that wasn't Prime Booker anyway, so suck it. I've had enough.
Oh, I don't know. It was pretty Prime Booker.
For me,
you didn't like
the question is who would you? It's not who would Shane judge my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know whose podcast this is? You know what?
Yeah,
Shane's losing points.
He invited me.
Gave him the opposite rouge there. All right, last question. It is the pillar of the pod. It is One Has to Go. And this week, it is One Has to Go, the non-Big Four pay-per-view main events. So One Has to Go, non-Big Four. These are just main events that have happened at different non-Big Four WWE pay-per-views. They are random. So, of course, there's been a bunch, but these are just ones that off the top of my head. So top left is King of the Ring, 98. Obviously, this wasn't the main event, but you get my point. It was the main thing that everybody talks about is Undertaker versus Mankind. Same concept. In the top right, it is In Your House, Calgary Stampede, the 8-man tag match, the Hart Foundation versus Stone Cold Squad. In the bottom left, it is CM Punk leaving Money in the Bank. And in the bottom right, it is John Cena, Rob Van Dam, and ECW 06 One Night Stand. So One Has to Go, a non-Big Four pay-per-view main event. And Freddie, you were at 06, so obviously I don't think you're going to get rid of that one, but what are you thinking, man? One Has to Go.
Wait, put the pig yet. I got to go with Canadian Stampede.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that was easy for him. I thought it was going to be easy for him, and I was like, shit.
It's also my answer.
Okay, you really? You weren't a big... See, I loved In Your Houses back then.
That match has the greatest garbage can shot of all time.
Great match, but I feel like everything else is so much more significant.
Sure. No, 1,000%. Yeah. That's why, I get... And that one wasn't super significant other than the fact that it was in Calgary.
Yeah.
And that pay-per-view was nuts fan-wise. I mean, Stone Cold wasn't getting booed anywhere in the world other than Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So that's why I put that one in there. Brad, what about you, man? Which one you going with?
Oh, man, I'm going to get heat for this one, but I'm going to say the Hell in a Cell match. I think because of how crazy it went, it's kind of diminished every other Hell in a Cell match because now whenever you hear Hell in a Cell, you think someone's going either through the cage or off the cage, and half of them don't do that.
Do you think we ever see a person go off the cage ever again?
Oh, yeah.
Well, when Shane did it, that was wild.
Oh, Shane did it. That's right. He jumped off of that somehow.
Well, and who was it? Ambrose and Rollins? They
did the double Russian leg sweep. Yeah. We've seen a lot of it.
Oh, my God.
I don't think we'll ever see the throw again.
That's okay.
I think everyone's going to be taking their own bump. I don't think anybody's ever be thrown again.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Damn. It's hard to forget. It's hard to think about all of those moments, like in those other, because I don't think of any other Hell in a Cells other than that one and the Shawn Michaels Undertaker one. Those are the only two I ever think about.
They made it a pay-per-view and they just
we talked about that. Yeah,
they don't matter anymore. They're just kind of.
I'm so glad they got rid of that pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was cool at first, and then it was like, okay, we don't need 2 Hell in a Cell matches in one night every year.
But then Fox got upset and they wanted a Hell in a Cell on SmackDown. Which just killed the whole pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's really what they needed to do. Kill that I'm not a big themed pay-per-view when it comes to that.
No, me neither.
No.
That like specific match, like you know what I mean.
Survivor Series, Rumble.
That's it. Yeah.
Bring back Fatal 4-Way. Come on, man.
Oh my God, I was there for that. They were really aggressive.
No.
Is it worse than Taboo Tuesday, Freddie?
I actually enjoyed Taboo Tuesday.
That was a good gimmick.
Was it?
For its time?
The first one was cool because like the fans were voting online, right?
Yeah.
That was what they all did. Even when they went to Cyber Sunday.
Oh, even when they
and apparently it was legit.
Yeah,
really?
because you couldn't make it.
They couldn't fudge the numbers
because it would be a fraud thing.
Wow.
Because you had people actually calling in and texting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, and it was paying. They were paying for it at that point. So yeah, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, because Jericho's talked about it where he had to go to like 4 different guys. He's like, all right, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? All right, I'll see it. I'll see one of you out there.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, we're going to do the learning tree. Hi, guys.
Yeah, hi, guys.
He was doing that gimmick back then. All right, well, if I'm going to get rid of one, I'm obviously I'm partial, like I mentioned, to the In Your House just because I thought it was so cool. But if I was going to, I'm actually going to get rid of the Mankind Undertaker one too because it kind of diminished all the other ones. It took away
That's
from.
right.
I don't agree with that at all. I don't think it diminished anything.
I'm just saying
I don't want to say diminished. I think
I don't know if diminished.
Ever since that one, whenever they announce a Hell in a Cell, that's what people expect. And 99% of the time, they can't deliver that.
That Triple H Batista one, what was it, Vengeance? That was a bloodbath. That was
Triple H HBK from Bad Blood.
Yeah, like I don't.
When was that Bad Blood?
Like that's
Freddie?
not what I think of.
04.
Okay. Yeah, there was a couple. Sometimes when I pull these matches, I like Google search, different lists and thing like that. It's not just from memory, obviously, because I didn't even remember that Booker T won the world title as King Booker. But I saw a bunch of other ones too that were interesting. Some fully loaded stuff from Vengeance and things like that.
The tag team ones, the New Days and the Usos, I thought had a great Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Oh, they did have a Hell in a Cell. That was a cool one too. That's a cool concept. I'm interested to see where they go. Speaking of the New Day, I don't see how you break them up. Just because it's like that's a legacy act now. You don't even have to just let them do their thing. I don't know why.
And they'd be one of the only teams in history that haven't ever broken up.
Yeah,
it just doesn't happen in modern day that a tag team
stays
together forever.
I just really wish. I kind of hope. Freddie, what's your thought on New Day? What's your hope?
It's run its course. I love New Day, but I love them. I don't know. I am liking what they're doing now, though. They're finally.
I think they should go away for 7 months.
Honesty and Xavier not being happy. It finally.
See, I don't love that because it's like a tease for there's no payoff there.
What I would love, I don't want to see them break up, but if they just handshake and be like, hey, let's just step away from each other for a while.
They drafted Big E away. Why not just separate them that way? Yeah, just do the separation like they did. I mean, you remember what happened with the Dudley Boys. We did get Reverend Devon.
Yeah, he did.
So,
but I think it'd be good if Woods asked to be traded. It wasn't drafted. He's
cool.
I need to step away. I'm going to go do my own thing.
See, that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think it'd be good, and then they could come back for pay-per-views at the crossover and stuff.
Yeah,
you get that moment in the Rumble where they're both in there.
Oh, that'd be cool. There's so many things. I just think there's so many other better ways than what they're doing right now with it. Was my whole thing about it.
Yeah, you're right. They're teasing a lot for. There's got to be some kind of payoff with Karrion Kross and everything.
All right, man. Well, we did it. We have come to the end. Fred won.
Go all the way around.
I can't believe I let Fred win. I lost track during.
Thanks for putting me over, brother.
Yeah, Freddie won in a tight one today. I was doing good keeping track, and then Shane threw me off with something, and then Freddie blew me out of the water with not picking. So I was lost in it. Fred. You get 10 seconds to pitch. I'm just kidding.
Bash in Berlin Saturday. Going to be a hell of a card. I'm anxious to see how the German crowd is. Will they be on par with France and Puerto Rico and all
probably
the other?
Probably a little more racist, but otherwise I think they'll probably be on par.
Well, at least they'll be genuine.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's good shit, pal.
I'm
excited. Fred's flying out tonight to Germany. We're super excited about. I'm just kidding out. That would be awesome if you were.
That'd be amazing.
Making the rounds. That'd be cool, Fred. Maybe that's what we.
There is talk of them doing a pay-per-view in Italy next year.
Oh, we got to do it. Yeah.
And if there was one international that I would do, I would love it to be that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. Yeah. Well, man, I appreciate all you guys joining us this week. If you're watching along, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Shane, thanks for being a new guest this week.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you guys. Support indie wrestling in Canada, man. Brad and Shane, check them out. They're doing a ton of indie wrestling. Alpha One, Bari. It's Bari, right? Did I get it right?
It is Bari.
That's perfect. You nailed it.
Bari, Alpha
Shout
One,
out Bari Wrestling.
Northern Crown. Man, a ton of stuff going on in Canada. So shout out. Thank you guys for taking the time to do it. Until next time, everybody, when we go around the mat.